Are you feeling trapped in a toxic relationship where sweet words are just a facade for subtle manipulation? Do you feel lost in an emotional maze with no way out? It's time to wake up from the illusion, tear off that mask of deception, and free yourself. Today, join me as we uncover 8 unique signs that a narcissist has decided to leave you. This may sound heartbreaking, but trust me, it's also your moment of liberation. However, their departure is rarely simple. Narcissists, with their need for control and manipulation, often turn breakups into dramatic spectacles to protect their warped egos. Recognizing these tactics is the first step to breaking free, regaining your peace of mind, and taking back control of your life. If you're ready to step out of the shadow of pain, seeking a meaningful and empowered life, then this video is for you. Today, we'll explore these issues through the lens of Stoic philosophy. You might wonder, can an ancient philosophy help solve modern-day problems? The answer is yes. Stoicism equips you with resilience, composure, and clarity to face life's challenges, especially when dealing with narcissists. But first, a warm welcome to all the new members of our community. As always, if you enjoy these videos and want to continue this journey with us, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe button. I understand that supporting a channel focused on the topic of narcissism might feel daunting, but remember, when you subscribe, like, and comment, you're not just supporting me, you're helping spread these valuable messages to others. Just as you stumbled upon this video, your small action might help someone else find the light and healing they need. Let's build a strong community together, a place where we share, support, and help each other overcome challenges and move towards a better life. Let's embark on this journey to understand, heal, and liberate ourselves. It is unfortunate to tell you bluntly that while you may experience countless heartbreaks when parting with a narcissist, they only need one reason to end things with you. They've found a new prey, a fresh supply to feed their massive ego. Many narcissists tend to flirt openly in front of their partners. They also enjoy pointing out when others find them attractive. They do this to make their partners feel insecure and to create the impression that they are highly desirable. Narcissists will have as many romantic relationships as possible, but when it comes to discarding someone, don't expect them to do it kindly. To them, you have become useless, and they won't hesitate to toss you aside like an old toy. However, they won't simply leave. They'll turn the breakup into a theatrical drama to mask their distorted and selfish ego. Understanding this pattern can help you recognize warning signs, protect yourself, and escape the toxic spiral as safely as possible. Sign 1. They manipulate you with silence. Narcissists are masters of emotional manipulation, and silence is one of their sharpest weapons. When they feel done with you, they don't bother with long goodbyes or explanations. Instead, they retreat into silence, disappearing from your life coldly and without a word of farewell. What do they leave behind? A storm of emotions within you: confusion, heartbreak, and self-blame. You find yourself wondering what you did wrong, sinking into negative thoughts and feelings of abandonment. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is truly within my control? Stoic philosophy teaches that external events cannot harm us, only our perception of them holds such power. The silence of a narcissist, though cruel, is not a judgment of your worth. It is an action that reflects their nature: avoidance, control, and manipulation. You don't need to let it weigh on your mind. This ruthless silence is a cunning strategy that allows them to avoid responsibility. They don't want to face negative emotions, explanations, or accountability for their departure. Inflict pain. They want you to suffer, to dwell on self-blame. Your pain is the fuel that feeds their twisted ego. Leave the door open for a return. By not saying a clear goodbye, they create an ambiguous ending, keeping you in limbo and longing. This allows them to easily come back when they tire of new adventures. Maintain control. Silence is a way for them to assert power and control. They want you waiting in vain, perpetually anxious about when they might reappear. For a narcissist, relationships are like a cat-and-mouse game, and they always seek to prolong the play. Ambiguity and uncertainty are their means of satisfying their desire to control and manipulate others. However, you have the right to refuse to participate in this game. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The obstacle in the path is not the enemy, it is the path." Their silence, instead of causing you despair, can become an opportunity for you to establish boundaries and reclaim your inner freedom. Do not apologize or demand an explanation for their silence. Human psychology often drives us to seek reconciliation when someone becomes distant, to apologize for what we think we did wrong. But if you apologize to a narcissist, it only reinforces their ego and confirms that silence is an effective control tool for the future. Second, do not respond to their silence with manipulative silence of your own. Trying to beat them at their game will only pull you deeper into their manipulative mire. Ignore them and understand that silence is not a weapon to cause pain, but a means of freeing your own soul. It is not a tool for punishment or a game to control others. React to their silence with clarity and composure. Instead of letting it drag you into emotional turmoil, see it as a test of your mental strength. As Epictetus taught, focus on what you can control and disregard what is beyond your reach. And be prepared. Their silence and departure may not be the end. Don't be surprised if they suddenly reappear one day as if nothing happened. They may resume the relationship as if everything were normal, only to disappear again when they grow bored. Narcissists enjoy playing cat and mouse, keeping you trapped in a limbo where you can never be sure what is real and what isn't. I understand that accepting this truth is not easy, especially when your heart still holds feelings for them. But remind yourself that someone who truly loves you would never treat you this way. Don't create imaginary scenarios to justify their disappearance. Don't deceive yourself with hypotheses about unforeseen accidents or misunderstandings. The reality is that they chose to leave selfishly and irresponsibly. Have you ever experienced this pain? Share your story so we can find a way out of these toxic relationships together. Sign 2. They initiate conflicts. Contrary to withdrawing in silence, some flamboyant narcissists choose to leave in a dramatic fashion, carefully orchestrating scenarios to mask their true intentions. For them, a breakup is not a simple conclusion or a quiet closure. Instead, they turn their departure into a grand performance where they remain the central star, with all the spotlight fixed firmly on them. They don't just leave, they stage dramatic situations, transforming the breakup into a tragicomedy in which they play the pitiable victim. Starting fights and stirring conflicts is one of their go-to tactics. They will deliberately create endless arguments, exaggerate minor mistakes, or even fabricate stories to blame you, making you believe you were the one who ruined the relationship. This strategy is insidious because it manipulates you into a whirlpool of guilt and self-blame while simultaneously feeding their twisted ego. Every rebuttal, every tear you shed becomes ammunition for them to attack further, solidifying their victim role and pulling you deeper into their manipulation. But remember, it's all just a carefully crafted act. They are masterful actors, capable of distorting reality and drawing others into their play. Don't let yourself be drawn into this psychological game. Stoic philosophy teaches us that happiness does not come from controlling others or external factors, but from inner tranquility and mastery over our own emotions. Be courageous and clear-minded, see through their true intentions, and firmly step out of this toxic spiral. You deserve a healthy love, a relationship built on the foundation of mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Don't let narcissists rob you of the peace and happiness you are worthy of. Take this as a lesson in self-discipline. They may stage their theatrics, but you don't have to participate. When you refuse to be drawn into their games, you'll see the reality for what it is. The drama says nothing about you but reveals their true nature. Their departure is not the end for you, but an opportunity to learn how to protect yourself, establish boundaries, and rediscover peace. Remember, a Stoic practitioner does not seek validation from others, but strives for serenity within the soul. Finally, let them carry their drama with them as you move forward on your own path, one unbound by manipulation and theatrics, but full of freedom and inner strength. Sign 3. They manipulate you to make you leave first. Narcissists are masters of psychological manipulation, and one of their sharpest weapons is their ability to provoke jealousy, an emotion that can shake even the strongest heart. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." The jealousy they deliberately ignite holds power only if you allow it to consume your mind. They don't accidentally cause jealousy, they meticulously and calculatingly incite it. Like a malicious artist, they know exactly how to craft an emotional portrait you cannot look away from. Through subtle means, they plant seeds of doubt in your mind. They may speak of an ex-lover with admiration, painting past relationships in glowing colors, leaving you feeling inadequate. As Seneca once taught, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. The insecurity you feel does not stem from your value, but from the illusion they carefully construct. If they sense their ex could become a new supply for their grandiose ego, they won't hesitate to reach out, rekindling old memories. This isn't a coincidence. It's a calculated strategy designed to create an emotional whirlwind, trapping you in a vortex of insecurity. Epictetus warned, "Do not seek to possess that which does not belong to you." True freedom lies in not being bound by things outside your control. The jealousy they provoke isn't yours. It's their tool, a means of control and manipulation. What you can control is how you perceive it and how you free yourself from the emotional spiral they deliberately create. Though they may appear innocent, their every action is carefully premeditated. Their goal isn't just to evoke jealousy, but to make you feel insecure about your worth. They want you to doubt not only them, but also yourself, to believe you aren't good enough, attractive enough, or worthy of their love. This insecurity quickly drains you emotionally. You exhaust yourself trying to salvage the relationship, pouring all your energy into proving your love. But the harder you try, the more they distance themselves, rendering your efforts futile. At this stage, they begin to withdraw from the relationship gracefully. Their demeanor becomes cold and distant, yet subtly enough to avoid appearing at fault. Like chameleons, they expertly adjust their behavior, pushing you away without inviting blame. Ultimately, when you can no longer endure the anguish and exhaustion, you decide to end the relationship. But don't think you've surprised or hurt them. This outcome is precisely what they intended. Your decision to walk away not only frees them from responsibility, but also allows them to preserve their image as the victim. They will feign acceptance of the breakup with a hint of sorrow, making you feel guilty. But this is merely part of the plan. With their talent for emotional manipulation, they will quickly weave a new narrative where they are the wounded soul, the poor victim you heartlessly abandoned. To add credibility, they will deploy their flying monkeys, people they've manipulated or persuaded with their charm. These flying monkeys not only blindly believe the narcissist's tale, but also willingly apply psychological pressure on you. They spread criticism and may even isolate you from your own social circle. These flying monkeys become powerful tools for the narcissist to maintain control, even after the relationship ends. They make you feel surrounded, not just by the narcissist, but also by those you once considered allies. Sign 4. They withdraw their attention from you. When they grow bored of you, their spotlight shifts to a new star, a fresh source of supply to feed their enormous ego. The change becomes undeniable. Where they once sent long, heartfelt messages, you now receive curt replies or worse, complete indifference. They might spend hours laughing and sharing with someone else, yet with you, their responses are tepid, as though communicating with you is a chore rather than a joy. The small but meaningful gestures that once showed their care, asking how your day was, wishing you good night, vanish entirely. But in moments like these, you have a chance to embrace lessons from Stoic philosophy, which teaches that true strength doesn't come from clinging to others, but from mastering your own mind. As Epictetus said, we cannot control the events that happen to us, only how we respond to them. Their withdrawal isn't proof of your inadequacy, but a reflection of their selfishness and lack of accountability. You are not the cause of their shift, and blaming yourself will only drain you further. Choose to respond with calm, using this as an opportunity to reclaim control over your emotions. Marcus Aurelius also reminded us, you have the power to draw lessons from anything, even the worst circumstances. Their behavior, no matter how cold or cruel, isn't your failure, but a lesson in independence and self-worth. Instead of trying to win back their attention, use this time to rebuild yourself. Focus on your value, invest in relationships that truly matter, and remember, no one can hurt you unless you allow it. When their spotlight dims, you are not left in darkness. You remain a self-sustaining flame, strong, resilient, and enduring. Though this journey may be painful, trust that it will lead you to freedom, where you are no longer controlled by those unworthy of your love and respect. Sign 5. They seek out new relationships. When a narcissist's heart grows cold, one of the clearest signs is their relentless pursuit of a new supply. They are not searching for soulful connection or enduring values in a relationship. Like bees drawn to sweet nectar, they crave admiration, attention, and the constant feeding of their oversized ego. In their world, relationships are merely temporary tools, means to polish their self-image. However, they don't leave immediately. Instead, they shift their focus quietly and strategically. They begin to grow distant, emotionally disengaging without leaving overt signs. Their time and attention are redirected toward others, a colleague, an old friend, or even an ex-lover, disguising these connections as harmless. But don't be fooled. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look to the essence of a thing, stripping away the superficial." The true essence of their actions is preparation, to leave you without remorse because, in their eyes, your replacement is already secured. In some cases, their cruelty takes an even darker turn. They intentionally flaunt the new person, not to share, but to make you feel inferior, as though you no longer hold value. The emergence of this third party often coincides with erratic changes in their behavior. They become unpredictable, distant, and even deliberately provoke minor conflicts to put you on the defensive. But remember Seneca's wisdom. No one can hurt you unless you give them the power to do so. The conflicts and insecurity they manufacture are not reality. They are tools to maintain their control. When you recognize these changes, it signals they are ready to leave, but they don't depart as a genuine partner. They leave as someone who has completed their objective. In their self-serving world, you were just a stopover on their endless journey to satisfy their enormous ego. They may leave without guilt, but that doesn't define you. It's an opportunity to rediscover your true worth, not through their validation, but through your autonomy and self-respect. Remember, you are not a victim in their game. Maintain your calm, because as Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you master your own mind, no one can master you. Sign 6. They sabotage you. When a narcissist decides to leave your life, they don't choose to depart peacefully or with even the barest respect. Instead, they actively sabotage you, sowing chaos to ensure their departure is not a mere breeze, but a storm that leaves destruction in its wake. They aim to leave deep scars, not just on your mind, but in your life as a whole. They won't hesitate to fabricate stories about you, ranging from trivial lies to serious defamations. These rumors not only harm your personal reputation, but also make those around you begin to doubt you. Through this manipulation, they position you as the guilty party in others' eyes, while casting themselves as the pitiful victim. They subtly or openly work to alienate your friends, colleagues, and even family members. Through vague insinuations, ambiguous remarks, or direct attacks on your character, their goal is to weaken your support network. They want you to feel isolated, abandoned, and devoid of trust in anyone. From public shaming on social media to spreading false information at work, they utilize every means to discredit you. Their objective is to strip you of respect within your community, leaving you feeling out of place in your social relationships. They may approach you with a facade of remorse or calmness, but their true intention is to continue sowing doubt in your mind. Their half-truths and contradictory actions make it impossible for you to discern their real motives. This not only disrupts your mental stability, but also exhausts you emotionally. By tarnishing your reputation, isolating you from critical relationships, and manipulating your mind, they create an environment where you feel trapped and helpless. This sense of powerlessness becomes a lever they use to maintain control over you, even after leaving. Stoic philosophy reminds us, no one can take your peace of mind unless you allow it. The narcissist's destructive behavior is not a judgment of your worth. On the contrary, it is the clearest evidence of their weakness and fear that you might rise above them unscathed. Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Their rumors and lies, no matter how severe, are mere projections of their twisted mind, not an accurate reflection of who you are. View their actions as a test of your composure and resilience. The chaos they create is not a sign of your fragility, but an opportunity for you to grow and become stronger. Let them carry their turmoil away with them as you move forward, because your peace was never theirs to take. 7. They constantly accuse and shift blame. When a narcissist decides you no longer fit their selfish agenda, they quickly resort to a familiar weapon: accusations and blame. You, once the center of their attention, suddenly become the villain in their narrative. Accusations flood in: lies, deceit, manipulation, or being too much in some way. Yet these venomous words, like poisoned arrows, cannot harm you if your mind is shielded by calmness and reason. As Epictetus said, people are not disturbed by events but by their interpretation of them. So look directly at their accusations and ask yourself, is this the truth, or is it just a tool of manipulation to disorient me? The reality is they are searching for an excuse, not rooted in truth, but in convenience. This excuse allows them to justify leaving you, pursuing a new supply, without bearing responsibility or guilt. This behavior reflects not your worth, but their unwillingness to confront the truth about their own nature. Blame is also a tool they use to protect their distorted ego. By shifting the burden onto you, making you the wrongdoer, they aim not only to escape accountability but also to craft a facade to hide their insatiable desire for conquest and validation. They want others to see them as the victim, a pitiable figure unlucky in love. Use your reason to see the situation clearly. They don't accuse you because you were at fault, but because they lack the courage to face their reality. Accept the truth with composure, but do not let it invade your soul. You don't need their validation or excuses to know your worth. Let calmness, logic, and self-respect guide you, because what you can control is how you respond to this. In that clarity, you will discover true freedom. sign 8, they directly tell you it's over. I'm done with you. It's over. I'd love someone else. I want a divorce. These words, delivered coldly and casually, like a biting winter wind, tear apart the fragile veil of love you once cherished. They don't merely end a relationship, they shatter cherished memories and the hopes you had placed in them. This cruelty isn't limited to romantic relationships. In professional and social settings, it manifests as abrupt statements, "I'm done with this project. You're fired." Such blunt declarations, devoid of explanation or compassion, thrust you into a chasm of confusion and despair. Their ruthlessness isn't accidental. It reveals their true nature. Exposed when they no longer see value in you, they leave your life coldly and suddenly. No goodbye, no comforting hug, no final glance. Only an eerie silence remains, as if you never existed in their world. They ghost you, blocking all contact, erasing traces of your connection, severing every tie. What remains is an overwhelming emptiness in your heart, where love and hope once resided. This shock is like a seismic event for your spirit, leaving you reeling, unable to comprehend what just happened. The person you trusted, loved, and hoped for suddenly becomes a cruel stranger, leaving you drowning in the unbearable pain of betrayal. But pause and reflect. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What happens to you is not bad if you choose to see it as an opportunity to grow." No matter how harsh their actions, they are, paradoxically, a gift, a chance to escape the toxic cycle. Their departure, while painful, a healthier, more genuine love. See this as a moment of rebirth from the ashes. Don't dwell on what you've lost. Focus instead on the new doors opening before you. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I transform this pain into strength? The healing journey won't be easy. There will be sleepless nights and days of questioning why it ended this way. But remember, as Epictetus taught, it's not events that hurt you, but how you interpret them. You can choose to view this pain as a chance to learn self-love, to value yourself and to rebuild a life more worthy of you. Love yourself. Remind yourself that you're not a failure. You gave your love genuinely. That doesn't make you weak, it makes you strong. Rebuild your life, step by step, believing you deserve better. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have the power to rise above any challenge if you hold on to reason and courage. Walk boldly on your path, reclaim your self-worth, and strive for a life of freedom, happiness, and meaning." Their departure isn't the end, it's the beginning of a new chapter where you take control of the story, no longer manipulated by toxic behaviors. Believe that every step you take today leads to a brighter tomorrow. When a narcissist is done with you, their actions often leave deep emotional wounds, from cold indifference and cruel criticisms to emotional manipulation through blame and making you feel inadequate. These behaviors don't just cause pain, they make you question your very self. But the most crucial thing to recognize is that their actions are not a judgment of your worth, but a reflection of their own nature. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "You cannot control what others do, but you can control how you respond." Ask yourself, are you willing to let their selfish and callous behavior shape how you see yourself? Or will you choose to view this breakup as a lesson, a turning point to cultivate self-esteem, autonomy, and a stronger heart? The signs a narcissist leaves behind when they exit, from their emotional withdrawal to manufactured conflicts or even ghosting, are all tactics to maintain control. But remember, you are not a puppet in their game. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Refuse to be a slave to others' emotions. True freedom lies in mastering your own mind." When you understand this, you'll see their departure not as an ending, but as a door opening to freedom. As painful as it is, the narcissist's departure may be a gift from fate. It's an opportunity to escape the toxic cycle and focus on your journey of self-discovery. Don't let this pain define you. Instead, See it as a reminder that you deserve a better life, a healthier relationship, where you are loved and respected. You are not alone on this journey. Seek support from family, friends, or those who empathize with you. Care for yourself, establish boundaries, and constantly remind yourself that you are not the problem, the value you bring, your inherent goodness. They remain intact and will only grow stronger through these challenges. The narcissist's actions upon leaving reveal their true nature, but they also serve as a powerful reminder of your inner freedom. When you choose not to react emotionally, but focus instead on maintaining your calm, you reclaim control over your life. Remember Marcus Aurelius's wisdom: what stands in your way is a challenge, not an enemy. Face it with courage and tranquility. Every wound can become a valuable lesson. Every moment of pain, an opportunity to understand your inner strength better. As you move forward, know that you are walking a path toward freedom, autonomy, and happiness. You are no longer bound by their mind games, manipulations, or unrealistic expectations. This is a new chapter in your life, a chapter where you are free to be yourself, without needing anyone's approval to know you are worthy of love. Walk with determination, for you are not just surviving this pain, you are rising stronger than ever. The journey ahead may be challenging, but it is yours, and only you can write the story that follows.